Welcome again to Let's Talk Science with Pastor Dan. I'm in my car. I happen to be watching a video today, and I wanted to make sure I shared. I don't forget to talk about it. There's a website called Wise Disciple, Nate Salas, and I really encourage you to check him out. He was talking about the cause for the fall, and we totally misunderstand where it comes from. We think that it was because they ate the apple, or we think it's because God didn't want them to be wise. In fact, many Satanists try to flip the script and say that in reality, it's Satan's a good guy because he wants us to have knowledge, but the truth, the reality is completely different. It's not that God doesn't want us to be wise. In fact, if you look at Proverbs, it constantly talks about the fact that you are to seek wisdom. So what's the deal here? If God really wants us to be wise, then how can we possibly say that the cause of the fall was looking for wisdom? No. The reason that Adam and Eve fell, the reason why the serpent was able to deceive them, is not that they wanted wisdom, but they wanted it apart from God. When you're in the presence of God, when you abide in Him, there's fullness of life. There's wisdom, there's truth, there's knowledge, there's grace, there's growth. All the gifts of the Spirit are present. But what Eve and Adam did, what the serpent enticed them to do, is not to get it, but get it on their own. Get it without the grace of God, without the mercy of God, without the faithfulness of God. And when you go that way, what you're doing is you're doing it in yourself. I know a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge. They have all kinds of degrees next to the name. And there's nothing wrong with all that. Education is awesome. But the reality is that when we don't do it God's way, we end up with a hollow knowledge. We got a worldly knowledge. There's a science professor I heard of out in California who is so pro-choice that he believes that life should not be considered valid until you can express yourself. So that means infants, babies can be easily eliminated because they're a nuisance, they're a problem. He is justifying infanticide. He has knowledge, but he doesn't have wisdom. He has no faithfulness of God, no connection with the Father. And that is what makes a difference. We have too many today in this world that have mucho amounts of knowledge, but they don't have any wisdom. They don't have a relationship with God. And without that, there's death. The wages of sin is death. Anything apart from God's presence is death. When we try to do it our own way without Him, we earn the penalty of death. And that's what the cause of the fall was. Not eating the apple, but choosing to do it on our own without God's purpose. Ultimately, that's what Satan's fall was. Same thing. My pride. I don't need God. I can do this on my own. You need Jesus. You need God. And it's a deep, abiding love for you knows no end. That's what I have. Hopefully it's not too bad. Take care. God bless. If these bless you at all, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Take care. God bless. Bye.